Celebrate the Chag HaGeula of the previous Rebbe in 1927, which the Rebbe and the previous Rebbe writes in the letter that this Chag HaGeula is for every Jew that Shomer Torah mitzvahs, Chovev Torah mitzvahs, V'ad Asher B'Shem Yisrael Yechuna, which means even a Jew that the only connection to Judaism is that he's called Jewish, and that is only his nickname. This redemption was a geula for him also. Till the fact is, the Rebbe calls it that this is one of the greatest miracles that happened in our recent times, similar to Kriyas Yamsuf, the splitting of the sea. Why? Because you have to understand, in that time, under the communist regime, under the Yeshiva KGB, it was almost an impossibility for not only a Jew, a religious Jew, not only a religious Jew, the leader of the Jewry in the entire Europe that was sentenced already by the KGB and by the Yeshiva, for God forbid, for the death penalty. It was supposed to happen on Friday afternoon. And the miracle that happened, and not only the death penalty didn't happen, but the Jews that wanted to do the death penalty, they themselves had to release the previous Rebbe on the 3rd of Tammuz to get out of prison to go home. He was supposed to leave from there to Kostroma, which is a train ride, of an overnight train ride, and stay there for 3 years. And the train was supposed to leave on Friday night, Shabbos. According to halacha, you were allowed to leave the jail even on Shabbos. Every minute being in jail is a matter of life and death. The prisons that we have here in America, it's similar to a 10-star hotel compared to the prisons that they had there. As our Mendel Futterfass once said, he was in Siberia for 8 years. And he came out of Russia in 1964, 63. And interesting thing is, he went to visit prisoners in jail in Israel, Jewish prisoners, to visit them before Yom Tov, to put on tefillin or to give them mitzvahs. And he comes with some group of people, and he asks, "Where's the prison?" He says, "We're in prison." He says, "This is not prison. This is a hotel. Come to the prison that I sat in Siberia, you'll know what prison is." The previous Rebbe was worse than the Siberia. Siberia was a city that you had to work hard. His prison was Shpadlarka. Everyone knew when you go to Shpadlarka, if you come out alive, it's like the miracle of miracles. If you come out 10 years in Siberia, it's a miracle. So every night people were taken out of the cell, killed right then and there, for no reason. So what happened was, it was such a miracle that not only he was saved from death, but then when he went out, he says, "I am not going on Shabbos." They said, "If you're not going on Shabbos, you might stay here." And he never come. He said, "I'm not going on Shabbos." So these Jews that wanted him to go on Shabbos, because they wanted to get him to do something, they knew they couldn't kill him. They wanted to kill his spirit and make the ride leave on Shabbos from his cell to go to Kostroma. He says, "I am not leaving on Shabbos, even if it means I'm staying here another 24 hours. And he ended up staying till Sunday and left on Sunday to Kostroma, and he was there for 10 days till they told him tonight, the 12th of Tammuz, he's released, which happens to be, it was his birthday. The previous Rebbe's birthday, he was born on the 12th of Tammuz. And his father told him on his 40th birthday, he gave him a bracha. The Rebbe Rashab gave the bracha to Vikar on his 40th birthday, which was the last birthday that he celebrated with his father, because his father passed away that year. His father said, "May Hashem bless you, that you should be able to always say Chassidus on your birthday with mercy." It took 7 years, that on the 7 years later, on that day, on his birthday, his 47th birthday, he was released from prison, came home, said a Maimah Chassidus on the day of his release. Shabbos, he made Hagomel, Birchat Hagomel, and then a few months later, the day after Simchas Torah, he left Russia completely. So the Rebbe goes in, I mean, you could read the whole story, but the previous Rebbe was very good in writing a diary, you know, of his day-to-day. So he writes the 7 Medurei Gehenom. You know the 7 Medurei? I don't know if you learned Chavat HaVavot, in the Musa Sodom, it says that Gehenom has 7 chambers to Gehenom. The previous Rebbe, when he was in Shmalarka, he went through the 7 Medurei Gehenom. Literally. He was in a cell till here with mud, mice, worms all around him, because he didn't want to give up and not miss tefillin, you know what I mean? I mean, crazy stuff for 24 hours to sit in a cell like that. Mice all around you, worms, and you're standing like this. You can't move. Anyways, the point is that he went through literally Gehenna, 7 chambers of Gehenna, and finally he got out. Eventually, when he left Russia, he went to Israel, the famous visit in 1929. He was one of the only ones that was allowed to go to the Ma'aras Machpelah. In those times, as you know, the Ma'aras Machpelah was locked for 700 years. Jews couldn't get in. But the previous Rebbe got a special permission to go in. And he went inside the Ma'ara, which today we could go in, thank Hashem, because of what happened. Arabs, the Mufti.
Why did they let him in, Rabbi?
Because the Jews then had connections and they knew he was the leader of the Jews in Europe, so they let him in. When he got in, the Mufti in Jerusalem found out, he got upset and he said, take him out. It was too late already. He was already in. And he went to Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, to all the kevers there. And on the way back in 1929 is when the pogroms happened in Hebron. You ever heard of it? 1929, they killed 70 in Hebron and then in Tzfas. And anyways, he got so sick from hearing the news that his kidneys failed. And the doctor on the boat had to save his life, and a whole story to that. But anyways, the long story in short is, Yud Tammuz is such a special redemption that every single Jew is connected to it and is redeemed for it. So may Hashem help that this is something that we should really understand. This is a miracle not just for individual Jews, a miracle for the entire Jewish world, that he fought for Am Yisrael, for Hashem, to bring Yiddishkeit to every Jew, to teach children Aleph Beis, to teach kids Torah. That was his whole fight. He fought for the children, and that's why he was put in prison. They hated the fact that he had yeshivas for little kids. They didn't mind if adults learned Torah, but children to go to Jewish school is a disaster, and that's what they were angry at him. Because the previous Rebbe knew that if you get the children to learn Torah, Judaism will stay. They were fighting it so much, and anyways, they lost. Hashem help, we should only have miracles for Am Yisrael and a revealed way of
What's the halacha What's the halacha with leaving jail before Shabbos? You allowed to, or you have to? You have to. So
by the way, just an interesting story. I don't know if you know. After the Second World War, Russia signed a peace treaty with Poland that all the citizens of Poland